Joining me from the law firm of Reeves and Medier, it is Jim Reeves. Jim, great to see you here.
Likewise.
Is it too late to say Happy New Year?
It is not.
No, I don't think so. We still got 11 months to go.
I'm with you.
My friend, car and truck accidents. You said it best during the promo. It's something you don't want to have happen to you, but statistically, it probably is.
You know, we're a mobile society.
Yes.
Everybody relies upon their cars, and at some point, you're likely to be in one. Hopefully, it's not a serious one. Sometimes they are. But knowing what to do, when to do it, is important. Because particularly if it's a serious injury, it can impact your ability to earn a living in the future and affect, therefore, your family. And it can affect your medical health and care as well. And so what you do quite often in the first 24, 48 hours after a serious accident will in a lot of times determine in a large way the ultimate outcome in the case. So it's very important that you do the right things early to make sure you preserve any potential claim you may have. One of the things we see in a car wreck type situation a lot of times is, people think it's a serious car wreck case if it's catastrophic damage, if someone is permanently paralyzed or killed. Of course those are serious.
Yes.
But a lot of times you'll have a car wreck accident or a trucking accident and people have something what's called a herniated disc in their back. And insurance companies a lot of times treat this like it's no big deal. But this is one injury that you persistently see because of the mechanism of an injury in a car wreck. A herniated disc in someone's back may not be that bad a problem to begin with, almost always becomes worse over time.
Right.
Because it affects the back, especially if the person engages in manual labor for a living, it limits significantly your future ability to earn a living. So if you have a herniated disc or any problems with your spine, you've got to get checked out by a doctor early. You've got to get to an attorney who handles these types of cases.
Sure.
Because you may be okay today, but you're probably not going to be okay tomorrow, and you've got to get taken. If you get one shot to resolve your claim, and you can't come back 5 or 10 years later and say, well, look, I'm hurt more seriously than I thought I was.
Right.
I need some more compensation.
It
doesn't work that way.
Too late.
That's
right.
That's right.
Very good. Email question of the week, and it comes from Felicia. Jim, this is a softball for you, my friend. Okay. For your skill level, this is softball. But anyway, it was a good question. We put it in there just in case. If you're involved in a wreck and another driver asks you to settle damages with cash instead of getting the insurance companies involved, this is generally a good idea or a bad idea, and why? Softball question for you, but a good question nonetheless.
It is a very good question, and you'll be surprised at the number of people that do this, that I have come to me. The short answer is bad idea.
Bad idea.
You'll be surprised at the number of people that come to me 5 or 6 months after an accident. They have a problem. They think they have some type of agreement with the person who struck their vehicle. They can't get the person on the phone. The person agreed he would pay. Now he can't pay. Maybe he doesn't have the money. The insurance company hasn't been put on notice. They're going to deny the claim because they hadn't been given reasonable notice of the claim. It's a nightmare. So the short answer is a bad idea, and the reason for it is because you can't honestly trust somebody. You don't know that they have the ability to pay. You don't know that they will pay. You need to always make sure you get an accident report and obtain the insurance information and report it to your own insurance company as well. That's something that people typically are reluctant to do, but that's what you pay your insurance for.
That's why they're there.
That's why they're there. No need to have them if you're not going to report the accident.
Sure.
And so it's all important that you document it and document it immediately.
Good evening.
Always.
What can we help you with?
Good evening.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, bud.
Yes, sir. I was recently in an accident, not of my fault.
Okay.
The insurance company picked my vehicle up and did an estimate on it and deemed that the vehicle was totaled.
Okay.
I drove an older model vehicle, and so they told me that they would give me X amount of dollars, let's say $1,200.
Okay.
And if I wanted the vehicle back, then they would only give me $800 for the vehicle. And also, the time that I was out of a vehicle, I had to pay certain individuals to take me and my wife to and from work, which they said that they would not compensate me for that. Is that right as far as the compensation and the amount for my vehicle?
Okay, Steve, great question tonight. Go ahead, Jim.
Hold on a second, Steve.
Yeah, hang on there.
Were you injured at all? Or was anyone else injured in the vehicle?
I wasn't injured. My wife, her knee got banged up a little bit, but she didn't go to the hospital.
Okay. So it doesn't sound like you don't think you have any serious injuries. And I'll get to your question specifically in a minute, but generally in this case, Steve, I would suggest if you're in any type of incident or accident where there's any type of serious impact, even if you think you're not hurt, go to a doctor and get checked out. Make sure there's not something that's latent that you don't realize now before you resolve the claim. That's one. Two, shifting to the property damage claim, all of this is going to be controlled basically by the Blue Book value. What they're typically obligated to pay, even the other side's insurance company, is what the value is. And you can typically look at these, what's commonly called a Blue Book, and get the range of the values of what your vehicle should be worth if it's total. And a lot of people aren't happy with that figure. They think their vehicle's worth more. You know, vehicles are a depreciating asset there. They're worth less every year. So you just got to look at that and make a judgment call as to whether it looks like it's a fair amount for your claim. For the other things, basically, the insurance company is responsible for everything kind of loss that you can prove that was caused by this accident. So if you incurred lost time from work, increased travel expenses, sure, they're liable for that. They should have to pay you that. They don't want to pay you that, okay?
Right.
And so I would suggest this. I would tell them, look, you've called Jim Reeves, a local attorney. You're glad to talk to him about paying something. Give them a figure that you think is fair for doing this, but tell them you're going to go to an attorney if they won't pay it. And I suspect they'll pay it because they're obligated to. Most people don't realize it. Most people won't push back on it. In the end, is it worth filing a lawsuit or fighting over?
Right.
Maybe not, but they are obligated under the policy to pay you for any type of loss that could be caused that's foreseeable from the accident.
Thank you so much for watching us tonight. What can we help you with?
Hello, Ruth. Hello.
Ruth?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
What can we help you with, my dear?
I was calling concerning, I have to, y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, there goes my name on the screen. That is so cool. All right, I like that. But anyway, I was trying to ask a question about, I need to know.
Okay.
Don't laugh at me, y'all. I see y'all laughing. Hey. But anyway, I want to know, I have a problem with my license and stuff.
Okay.
Because what would it take for me to get my license corrected because of the fact that I had something on my daughter's car when she had it. The car was in my name. When she had an accident, she had no insurance.
I see.
Okay. And that was a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a flag on my license, and I want to know what can I do to get this fixed up so I can get my license stuff right.
What I hear you saying, and real quick because we're running out of time, I hear you saying that basically your license was pulled because at the time of an accident you didn't have insurance in place on the car. Is that true?
Right.
Okay. And this is in Louisiana or Mississippi?
Louisiana.
Okay, Louisiana, y'all have your own country over there, so I'm not sure, but it'll be basically the same as Mississippi. Typically, you have to go back and prove that there's usually a small fine you have to pay for not having the insurance. You then, if you have another vehicle, you may have to go back and show proof of insurance on that vehicle before they'll let you either sit for a test or reissue you a license.
Jim, does it matter that her daughter was driving the car at the time of the accident, or insurance is one of those things?
Not really, because the insurance is the owner is supposed to always have, in Louisiana as in Mississippi, insurance on the vehicle, at least liability coverage. A lot of people don't. A lot of people can't afford it. You know, it's just a tough thing to have sometime. But when you're caught and you don't have the insurance, you have to pay some kind of consequence. So typically it's going to be that. If you'll talk to somebody, and if you want to call Ruth, we'll try to help you. But it's basically you're going to have to go to court, basically beg for forgiveness or petition for forgiveness. They'll essentially probably assess you a small fine. You'll either have to resit for a license or be reissued a license. But you'll have to first show proof of insurance, the little card that's issued to show that you have insurance on the vehicle that you're going to be driving.
And Jim, this is not taking care of itself. She's going to have to.
Yeah, you're going to need somebody to help you kind of walk you through this, probably, Ruth.
Ruth, thank you so much for the call tonight. We're so glad you called, and yeah, we try to put everybody's name on the screen. It helps. It helps all the way around. Jim, we only got like 30 seconds. She does sound like a lot of fun. Bad medicine, as Jim was talking about, all of those things that go into that: bad prescriptions, bad medical devices, bad medical care. So that'll be our show next week. We'll hopefully have a chance to watch us and give us a call then. But until then, good night.